I will not listen to Cam Newton. This guy seems to speak every single week on his podcast, okay? And I thought he was a great quarterback for maybe 4 years. He was a good quarterback. He won an MVP. He went to a Super Bowl, and he didn't win. He didn't win. Brock Purdy is going to his first Super Bowl in what, 2.5 years of starting for the San Francisco 49ers? Let me ask you something, Cam. How long did it take you to play in your first Super Bowl? And let me ask you a question. How did you play in the Super Bowl? How about that, Mr. MVP? Brock Purdy was a 7th round draft pick. And I'm not sticking up for Brock Purdy because I don't think he's a game changer. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. But to say that he's not a good one, I would say he's a top 11, top 10 quarterback right now. His season was fantastic. He had a great year. Now, he has a great team. He runs in a good offense. Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive-minded coach. There's no question that he is. And he has been successful with a lot of so-called quarterbacks, Jimmy Garoppolo being one of them. But Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. And to question that he isn't a top 10 player on your team is ridiculous. I do believe George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Hargrave, and Christian McCaffrey is better than him. So right now, if you were to ask me, where does Brock Purdy land in the top 10 of his team? I would say 9. I would say he's the 9th best player on this team. How could you not say he's the 9th player on this team? 4,270 passing yards, 31 touchdowns and 11 interceptions with a 69.4% completion percentage. And the best in the league, 113 passer rating. This is a 7th round draft pick. Cam, you were the number 1 pick in the first round. I can't sit here and say that Cam is always wrong because he isn't always wrong, but he's wrong about this. And to say that Dak Prescott is a game manager is ridiculous. Jared Goff is not a game manager. No. He proved that this year. And Tua is definitely not a game changer, a game manager either. They're game changers. Right. How about this? Purdy is a game changer. Prescott is a game changer. Jared Goff is a game changer. Tua Tagavailoa is a game changer. They're all game changers. What are you talking about? And here's another thing. And I'll go back to what Draymond Green said. If you've seen what Brock Purdy needed to do in the second half of the last 2 games, it says that he's not just a game manager. When they put it on his shoulders, he shows up in the big times and makes the big plays. What are you going to say if you're in a Super Bowl coming up? It's Super Bowl 58, okay? Super Bowl 58, it's the 4th quarter. The 49ers are down by 5. I'm just saying, 5 points with 2 minutes left. And Brock Purdy takes it down and gets the ball to George Kittle on the 49ers 40, and he goes 60 yards for a touchdown because he threw a short slant, which he finds George Kittle completely open. You're not going to give Brock Purdy the credit for making that throw? Or seeing the open man? Everybody else would give Tom Brady the credit, and Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees, and everybody else. Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. You're going to tell me that Brock Purdy doesn't deserve the credit for making those throws because, hey, he found the open man? Now, Brock Purdy isn't the athletic star power that Cam Newton was, even though he ran for 59 yards or 56 yards last week. It's honestly ridiculous that Cam Newton is speaking and throwing Brock Purdy under the bus because Cam Newton never believed that he was going to win a championship. And I don't care what he says. I don't care what their record was in Carolina, all right? I do not believe they had any belief that they were going to beat Von Miller in that defense. Cam Newton is a sensational talent at one point of his career. Mm-hmm. And he had to jump from juniors to jump to division. And then he had to play D2, and then he played D1 in Auburn and won a national championship. And then he had to, then from there, and by the way, you say whatever you want about Jared Goff. Jared Goff was the number 1 pick in the first round, just like you, Cam. And in such a short time, he has better numbers than you. And he still has a lot of football left. That says a lot about Jared Goff. How about this? Tua's got better numbers than you, and he misses a ton of games every single year because of concussion. And Cam, yes, he won an MVP, but at the time that he won an MVP, it was a different game, different quarterback play.